Beverly Hills, California. The Beverly Hills Hotel, May 1973. Saturday night, 11:30. The premiere after-party for a major Western film. The ballroom is elegant. Crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, champagne towers, waiters in black ties circulating with silver trays. This is old Hollywood, the establishment, the power structure. Maybe 80 people in the room. Producers, directors, stars, studio executives. The people who decide what gets made, what gets seen, what becomes part of American culture. Average age is probably 55, predominantly white, predominantly male. These are the gatekeepers, the tastemakers, the ones who've controlled Hollywood for decades. John Wayne stands near the bar with a group of producers, 66 years old, 6'4", still imposing despite his age, wearing a perfectly tailored tuxedo, hair silver, face weathered, but presence undimmed. This is a man who's been a star for 40 years, who defined American masculinity for 2 generations, who doesn't just play heroes, who is the American hero in the public imagination. Bruce Lee enters the ballroom with a small group. He's 32, 5'7", wearing a black tuxedo that fits perfectly, hair neat, clean-shaven, professional. He's here as a guest of Warner Brothers. Enter the Dragon will release in 2 months. The studio is starting to believe they might have something special, starting to think Bruce Lee could break through to American audiences in a way no Asian actor has before. But in this room, tonight, Bruce is still an outsider, still the guy from the Green Hornet, the martial arts teacher who works with Steve McQueen and James Coburn, the actor who couldn't get cast as Kane in Kung Fu despite creating the concept. Hollywood took his idea and gave it to David Carradine, a white actor playing an Asian character. That's how Hollywood works. That's the system Bruce is trying to break. Wayne notices Bruce across the room, recognizes him. Wayne has heard about Bruce, heard about the Hong Kong films that are breaking records in Asia, heard Warner Brothers is betting on Enter the Dragon. Wayne is curious, genuinely interested. He waves Bruce over. Bruce sees the gesture, walks toward Wayne's group, calm, confident, not intimidated, but aware he's approaching Hollywood royalty. John Wayne isn't just an actor. He's an institution, a symbol. Wayne extends his hand. Bruce Lee, I've heard about you. His voice is that distinctive drawl, the voice America knows from 100 films. Bruce shakes his hand firmly. Mr. Wayne, it's an honor. Wayne gestures to his group. These are some friends, producers, studio people. Introductions are made. Polite, professional. Then Wayne turns back to Bruce. I understand you have a picture coming out. Kung Fu film. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Like the video and comment. More true Bruce Lee stories are coming. Bruce nods. Enter the Dragon, Warner Brothers, releases in August. Wayne sips his drink. I've been hearing about these Kung Fu pictures, big in Asia. The studio thinks Americans will watch them. Bruce says carefully. Warner Brothers believes so. The test screenings have been strong. Wayne nods slowly. That's interesting, because everything I know about American audiences suggests they want cowboys, not Kung Fu. He says it matter-of-factly, not hostile, just stating what he believes to be obvious truth. Bruce doesn't react defensively, just asks, "Why do you think that?" Wayne gestures around the room. Look at what works. Westerns, war films, American stories about American heroes. That's what audiences pay to see. That's what's made money for 50 years. One of the producers in Wayne's group adds, "The foreign stuff, the martial arts films, they play in Chinatown theaters, niche audience, not mainstream." Wayne continues, "Your kung fu is impressive. I'm not saying it isn't, but American audiences want to see themselves on screen, want to see American values, American toughness, cowboys, not kung fu masters." Bruce is quiet for a moment, then says, "What if American audiences are ready for something different, something they haven't seen before?" Wayne smiles, not unkindly. "Son, I've been making pictures since before you were born. I know what American audiences want. They want John Wayne shooting bad guys. They want cowboys. They don't want Chinese martial arts." Bruce says, "With respect, Mr. Wayne, audiences might want good storytelling, regardless of where it comes from." Wayne shakes his head. "That's idealistic, but it's not how the business works. American audiences identify with American heroes. That's just reality." Another man in the group speaks up. "The Kung Fu television show is doing well, but they cast David Carradine, American actor. That's what makes it work for mainstream audiences." The words hang there. The implication is clear. The show Bruce created, the concept he developed, given to a white actor because Hollywood doesn't believe American audiences will accept an Asian leading man. Bruce's expression doesn't change, but everyone in the group feels the tension. Wayne senses he's stepped into something, says more gently, "Look, you're talented, obviously, but there are realities in this business. Market realities. What audiences will accept?" Bruce asks, "Have you seen any martial arts films? The ones from Hong Kong?" Wayne shakes his head. "Can't say that I have." "Then how do you know American audiences won't respond to them?" Wayne pauses. "Fair question." He says, "Because I know American audiences. 50 years of experience tells me what works." Bruce says calmly, "What if your 50 years of experience is about to become outdated? What if audiences are ready for something you haven't imagined?" One of the producers laughs. "You're suggesting John Wayne doesn't understand American audiences." Bruce says, "I'm suggesting audiences might be more open-minded than Hollywood gives them credit for." Wayne studies Bruce carefully. This young man isn't backing down, isn't intimidated. Wayne respects that. He says, "All right. Make your case. Why should Americans care about kung fu?" Bruce takes a breath. This is his moment. Because martial arts is about more than fighting. It's about discipline, philosophy, self-improvement. Those are universal values, American values. The films I make aren't Chinese films pretending to be American. They're universal stories about people fighting for what's right. That transcends culture. Wayne listens, nods slightly. That's a good pitch. But at the end of the day, audiences want to see someone who looks like them. Do they? Bruce asks. Or is that what Hollywood keeps telling them they want, because they've never been given an alternative? The group is quiet now. This has become more than small talk. This is a philosophical debate about the future of American cinema. Bruce continues, "Enter the Dragon isn't trying to replace Westerns. It's offering something additional, different. American audiences are sophisticated enough to enjoy both," Wayne says. "And if they're not, if your picture fails," Bruce says simply, "then you're right, and I'll have learned something. But if it succeeds, it proves audiences are ready for change." Wayne studies Bruce for a long moment, then says, "You really believe that American audiences will embrace Chinese martial arts films?" "I know they will," Bruce says, "because I've seen them respond. At screenings, at demonstrations. When they see real martial arts, real skill, they recognize it. respect it. Wayne sets down his drink. Well, I hope you're right, for your sake. But I've been in this business too long to bet against what's worked for 50 years. Bruce nods. I understand you're betting on what you know. I'm betting on what's possible. Wayne smiles slightly. First genuine smile. You've got confidence. I'll give you that. Not confidence, Bruce says, certainty. I know what I can do. I know what audiences will respond to. The only question is whether Hollywood is ready to let them see it. One of the producers speaks up. If Enter the Dragon succeeds, it won't change the industry overnight. One film doesn't shift paradigms, Bruce says. One film starts the shift, others follow. That's how change happens. Wayne asks, what happens if you're wrong? If American audiences reject it? Bruce says, then I go back to Hong Kong, make films there. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think Hollywood is about to discover that audiences are more open-minded than the studios believe. Wayne extends his hand. Well, good luck to you. Genuinely, I hope your picture does well. Bruce shakes his hand. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Wayne adds, but if it doesn't, remember this conversation. Remember that some of us tried to tell you how the business works. Bruce says, and if it does succeed, I hope you'll remember that audiences are ready for change. They shake hands. The conversation ends. Bruce excuses himself, walks back to his group. Wayne watches him go. One of the producers says, confident kid, probably headed for disappointment. Wayne says quietly, maybe, or maybe he sees something we don't. 2 months later, Enter the Dragon releases, opens strong, then builds. Word of mouth spreads. Audiences who've never seen a martial arts film buy tickets. The film crosses cultural boundaries, becomes one of the highest-grossing films of 1973, proves everything Bruce told John Wayne at that party. That Bruce dies 26 days before the film releases. Never sees his complete vindication, never gets to return to that conversation and show Wayne the box office numbers. After Bruce's death, kung fu films flood American theaters. Hollywood suddenly believes audiences will watch martial arts. Projects get greenlit. Actors get hired. Everyone pretends they always knew it would work. John Wayne gives one interview about Bruce Lee after his death, says, I met him once. Confident young man, believed he could change American cinema, believed audiences were ready for something different. I told him I didn't think American audiences would embrace kung fu films. Told him Cowboys beat kung fu. I was wrong. He was right. Didn't get to see it, but he was right. The 9 people who witnessed that conversation carry different memories. Some remember Wayne being more dismissive. Some remember Bruce being more aggressive. Memory is imperfect, but they all agree on the core. 2 legends, 2 eras. One conversation about whether American audiences were ready for change. Wayne represented old Hollywood. Traditional American heroism. Cowboys. Clear morality. American faces telling American stories that had worked for 50 years. Why change? Bruce represented the future. Global storytelling. Universal themes. Excellence transcending culture. Audiences ready for something beyond what they'd been given. Wayne wasn't wrong to doubt. History was on his side. 50 years of evidence supporting his position. But history was about to change. About to prove that audiences were more sophisticated than Hollywood believed. Bruce wasn't wrong to be confident. He'd seen the response, knew what he could deliver, knew audiences would recognize real skill when they saw it. But he didn't live to see his complete vindication. The conversation lasted maybe 10 minutes, but it represented something larger. The moment when old Hollywood met the future and didn't recognize it. When the establishment faced change and resisted it. When tradition encountered innovation and dismissed it. John Wayne continued making westerns until his death in 1979. Successful films. Audiences still loved Cowboys. Still loved John Wayne. But the industry had already shifted. Bruce Lee's success had opened doors. Proven markets existed beyond traditional American stories. Hollywood's definition of heroism expanded. 9 witnesses watched 2 icons discuss the future of American cinema. One representing what had worked. One representing what would work. Neither could fully see what was coming. Wayne couldn't imagine kung fu films dominating. Bruce couldn't imagine dying before his triumph. But that conversation marked a moment. The point where old Hollywood's certainty met new possibilities and couldn't reconcile them. Where Wayne's 50 years of experience became insufficient to predict the next 5 years. Where Bruce's vision proved more accurate than the establishment's assumptions. 2 legends, 1 conversation. 9 witnesses. A moment when the future announced itself, and the past politely declined to listen, until reality forced everyone to pay attention. Subscribe, enable notifications, like the video, and comment below which Bruce Lee moment surprised you most.